Well, this has been a week of bargain finds or good finds, vintage finds, antique finds. Some of them were real bargains and others were just a good find. So today is Saturday, October 1st. Happy October. And Selma has an event the first Saturday of every month in different art galleries and artist studios are open to the public for a few hours that first Saturday of every month. And it's always a fun event. You always get to meet some people. But also this month, there is a little cottage down the street and around the corner from my house, probably 3-4 blocks. And they were having a little house sale, like not really an estate sale. It was, I think, 3 or 4 families or 3 or 4 people who had their collections of stuff that they were selling. And so a friend and I decided to get together this morning and go do some exploring and having some fun. And I found some things. Luckily, we went to the store, not to the store, we went to the little sale first. And because I got some good deals, I found some good things there. So let me share with you what I found. So I have mentioned that I have been in desperate need of end tables and coffee tables. And so first I found this pretty piece. And it's got a drawer. It's very solid. It's in really good condition. And I have no idea of its age or anything about it. But it's a really, really nice little table. And then the woman whose room we were in, her stuff, she said, oh, well, there's this round barrel table over here that matches it. She goes, I didn't get them at the same time, but they really coordinate well. So look at that. Isn't that pretty? And it's got the leather top, which is in excellent, especially on this table, it's in excellent condition. And on this table, it's in, I mean, I would say excellent condition too. There's maybe a few more scratches or things, but no burn marks, no water rings, nothing like that. So I got the 2 tables. And then there was this rug on the floor. And I'm like, where was this rug when I was looking for a rug for the blue room? But she said, well, I'll take $10 off on the rug. And I'm like, sold. So I think I really love the pattern of it. I love the mandala medallion in the middle, and the pinks and blues really pull things together. I don't even know how well it would go in the lounge because it doesn't have any yellow in it, but I think I'm going to put it in the front bedroom in there, especially since I'm going to probably paint that room pink, and I think it will go nicely in there. And then the last little item I found, which was in a different room, so is this brass table. It's nice and solid. And again, my friend, who's a much better bargainer than I, was like, would you take blank for it? And the woman's like, sure, that sounds good. So I don't tend to, I'm really bad at bargaining, but I thought it would be a really pretty little plant stand. I don't have an open space under a window. To put it under a window or in front of one of my tall windows here. Maybe I just move all those plants off of that ugly boot rack. And it could go on the porch, but to be quite frank, I'm afraid it would get stolen if I put it out on the porch, and weather beaten, and I think it's in beautiful shape. So that has been a week of antiquing, thrifting, flea marketing, Facebook marketplacing. Did any of this stuff come from Facebook Marketplace? Well, you already saw the bed and the rug I'm standing on. Here's a question for you. Anyone else out there recently recovered from this milder case of COVID and want to share some experience with me? When I had COVID and I was testing positive and I was sick, I hardly coughed at all. The last 2 or 3 days, and I have been negative since almost a week, 6 days, I think now. But man, I am coughing a lot. So I don't know if it's just as I heal, because I never felt short of breath or anything like that, but just curious what other people's. Now I know the earlier iteration of COVID, the first few types that went around were obviously bad news for your lungs and for your breathing. But I didn't have any of that when I was had active COVID. Just curious if anybody else has had this most recent version of it, which I think is probably the Omicron version, and having similar, like I almost feel worse a week later than I did in the middle of it, which is just strange. So anyhow, so now I just need to start moving some furniture around, and I think the little stair step end table is going to go at the end of my couch in the lounge, because right now I have that little black nightstand that I picked up for $20, and it's not really an end table. It doesn't, and it's too small for what I need there. So I think this one will look really nice in there. And I don't know where my round table's going to go, but it'll go somewhere. And got to clean the tea cart up and get it refinished and looking good. But then I need to empty this room and just finally decide which room is going to be green and which room is going to be taupe, get my paint, and get working on this room, which is going to take a minute. There's actually probably more prep work in this room than there was. There's going to be so much cutting in because there's 4 windows, a door, a fireplace, and then this whole thing. Yeah, it's going to be. But there's not, once I get everything cut in and patched and prepped, the actual painting probably won't even take an hour because there's really not that much wall space. It's just getting ready, fixing to get ready. So, but before I do that, I have to empty all these new wonderful things out of the room. So, stay tuned and follow along, subscribe so you can see what's next. I think I gotta kind of lay low on buying stuff for a minute unless I find, like I still need a really nice coffee table. I missed out on one that would have been perfect. Because a nice large coffee table in this room would be wonderful. And of course, I'm always on the lookout for a new settee, sofa, seating in here. But if I don't find one of those for a minute, I'm okay, because I have these 2 little chairs and I have the new Queen Anne chair. So I'm good for a while in here, probably. And so there's things that if I find the right thing, kind of like my bed, I wasn't shopping for a bed, but I found that bed and I was like, that's mine. But I'm not going to actively keep searching like I have been this week. I say that. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, thanks a lot. Thanks for coming along and for being patient with my very slow uploads. Part of that's a me problem and part of that's an internet problem, which I've spoken on before. So I'm just looking across the room at my colors. I can't decide. All right. For the comment section, bonus cat. Can you see right here, this little strip of wall on the chimney breast? Should this room be green? Should this room be taupe? And I don't think that's the green I'm going with. I'm going with the lighter green over here. But still, you can get an idea of what I'm looking at. I don't know. I change my mind every day. And I think, oh, well, anyhow, give me your opinion in the comment section and let me know what you think.